Hare Krishna, everyone. You able to see my screen? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So let's start. So we are in the 16th chapter, which we started last week. I'll just do a quick intro of the chapter as we did last week as well. So this is a relatively small chapter, 24 verses only. And you can see on the screen, there are 3 sections here. First one is the qualities of divine and demoniac, which is verse 1 to 6. Actually, as we discussed last week, there's only 3 verses which are dedicated to divine qualities, and the rest of the chapter practically is related to demonic qualities and activities, because that's where we are, or we deal with, you can say that. And last 2 verses is what's the consequences of choosing a particular path. So we have done the divine qualities last week. Let's do a quick revision of 1 to 3. I will not go through every single word. Maybe all of us can just participate in quickly. Anyone remembers what are the qualities for the grahasthas or sannyasis, vanaprasthis? Anyone can say anything about it? What are the different qualities? The first and second line represents which ashrama? Anyone remembers?
First and second and sannyas ashrama, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. And someone else was saying other ashrama. So grahastha ashrama, which line is for grahastha ashram?
Danam, damascha, yajnascha, charity,
Thank you.
sacrifice, and self-control.
Thank you, Mataji. And for brahmachari, which word is for brahmachari?
The Swadhyaya.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you. Vanaprasthe. Tapa is vanaprastha. And now we start the varnas. So for Brahman,
Ahimsa.
ahimsa,
thank you.
satyam,
Arjavam as well. So Brahman simple. Yeah, ahimsa is definitely. Satyam is akrodha. That is
freedom,
Not angry.
Brahman. Kshatriya.
Tyaga.
Sorry, Jayadharma Prabhu.
Tyaga, Prabhu.
Teja, Prabhu. Tej.
Tyaga. Teja is Kshatriya. Tyaga will be
Shama.
Brahman.
Tyaga is
So Kshatriya.
Shama
Yeah.
is for Kshatriya,
Yeah.
Shama.
So Teja,
Shama.
Shama actually is for Brahmana.
Okay.
If Kshatriya does a lot of Shama, then it will be interruption in the society. So yeah, he does Shama as per the dharma whenever is needed, but necessarily. Dhritihi.
Yeah.
Dhriti is
Not showing the back.
determined. This not showing the back, that's one meaning. Now Brahman is also determined in his vows. Now Kshatriya's determination and Brahmana's determination will be different. Anyone remembers an example where Kshatriya and Brahman was distinguished on this basis? An example? Everyone knows that one. When Karna was having Parashuram on his lap, and then what Karna presented to Parashuram? I am a Brahman. But because the scorpion was biting, tolerate the pain, Parashuram said, because you are tolerating the pain like a Kshatriya, you cannot be a Brahman. Just imagine how great our rishis were. Just because of showing one characteristic, he said, you are not a Brahman. Another incident comes in another Purana. There was a boy who went to Gautam Rishi and he said, I want to be educated under you. Please accept me as your disciple. Gautam Rishi said, I'm happy to do that. What's your varna? And he said, I don't know. He said, go back and ask your mother. So he went back to his mother and he asked the mother. Mother said, my dear son, I don't know what your varna is because I am just used by so many people. She was a maidservant of kings, you can say. And this boy went back to Gautam Rishi and he said, my mother said, I don't know your varna because I'm associating with so many men. And Gautam Rishi said, your varna is Brahman. He could have said anything, right? He could have said, no, I don't know. Maybe I'm this or that. So Gautam Rishi said, you are Brahman. Why? Because you are speaking the truth. And this person became Satyakam Jabli, a very great Rishi later on. So Varna is never defined by birth. Otherwise, society would have called this person as an unwanted progeny, hybrid. but Gautam Rishi said, you are a Brahman, and he proved to be a Brahman later on. So Dhritihi, determination, will be different for different varnas. So we cannot just put in one bucket here. As I said, all these characteristics are common for everyone, but there are some predominant characteristics for a particular ashrama or a varna. So Dhriti actually will go for everyone. Socham is the same thing. Primarily Brahmana, but Kshatriya also maintain the Socha. Okay, now let's quickly pick up Abhayam. What does Abhayam mean? Fearlessness. So I jump from a 10-story building and I call it, I'm following Bhagavad Gita. Is that what it means? Because Bhagavad Gita said, I need to be fearless. What does fearlessness mean?
One who is dependent on the God is fearless.
Yes, because he has such a strong connection with God. All the other fear doesn't matter to him. Now, we are not talking about crossing the road and closing your eyes. God will save me. Now, Prahlad may be able to do that. We still have to watch for the traffic left and right. So it doesn't mean stupidity. Yeah? It means for the normal fears of life, like we may lose our job, our relations may get broken, we have so many expectations from people or things. If that gets broken, we still believe, okay, Krishna is there with me. I don't need to get fearful about it. If today no prasadam is there, Krishna will send. One sannyasi was telling in his class, sometimes I get invitation from 16 places for the same day, same shift, how many places I can go to. And sometimes no one come and ask for prasadam. No one. This sannyasi was telling, very great sannyasi. So when we don't get prasadam, what we will do? We'll go upside down. We'll either blame the host or we'll call so many people and sort of criticize or make some arrangements. But sannyasi is like, no, Krishna want me to fast today. And when 16 invitation come, we may arrange to go at least at few of them. And if not eat, at least take away. In Sydney, congregation takeaway is quite popular. Take away prasadam, take away prasadam. So Abhyam has a very deep meaning here. Sattva Sanshudher, all that's for sannyasi, but it is applicable for everyone. We all have to purify our existence. And Prabhupada says we have to purify our existence from lust, because that's our biggest enemy sitting here. Dhanam, Dhamma means, anyone knows what is Dhamma and Shama?
Dhamma is, I think, sense control.
And Shama?
Shama is forgiveness.
No, so Dhamma is fine, and Shama. No, not Shama.
Shama.
So Shama means sense control, Dhamma means, and Shama means mind control. So they're a little different. What does Tyaga mean? We discussed about this word as per His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj last week. So one definition at least we can rediscuss because it's very good for us. Tyagaha. Yep, that's correct. That's the literal meaning. More meaning. So when the time comes, how quickly we are able to live with those things which we are sort of comfortably enjoying. So then our Tyaga will be shown. Not that, I'm very Tyagi. So Tyaga is not just a word here. Tyaga is taken into our character, in our behavior. So we may be living in a comfortable house. We may have, a lot of facilities given by Krishna today. But when the time comes for Krishna's seva, how quickly we can leave. Anyone remembers the example which we discussed last week or earlier? Jamuna Mataji, she got down at Delhi station. At the instruction of Srila Prabhupada, she had no knowledge of any language. She didn't know anyone in that city. All she knew, one person which she met on the train in front of Prabhupada, maybe for 5-10 minutes. Prabhupada said, you get down here, he will help you to open the temple. Now that's surrender. That's surrender. We will have all the 100,000 excuses to tell our spiritual master why I cannot get down. What are you doing? You don't understand. Yamuna Mataji, no questions asked. Get down, get down. And Prabhupada said, my disciples can give their life for me and I can slit my throat for them. That much love Prabhupada had. In Jamuna Mataji, another incident I remember just right now, it's in her book, the same train journey, another train journey. Prabhupada was going to have his lunch prasadam. So Prabhupada said, is there any rice? Jamna Mataji said, Prabhupada, we only have chapatis, there's no rice. Prabhupada said, okay, no problem. Now there was still some time, maybe 20 minutes or something, before Prabhupada was going to take his prasadam. So Jamna Mataji went into, there's a kitchen in each train as well, for the first class. What do you call that? Pantry, huh? Yeah. There's a kitchen, they cook or they heat up few things. So she went into that kitchen and she was speaking English, and these people there could not speak one word of English. Anyway, she said, I want to cook rice. And they said, no way, we don't allow any customers to cook. And they had a long argument, not a conversation, argument. And then finally, they said, no way, we cannot allow you to cook. And she said, if you open the door, she said, if you don't allow me to cook, I will jump from this train right now. The train was running the speed of 100 kilometers or something. And then they folded their hand and said, okay, Mata, go do whatever. And she went inside that kitchen. She cooked rice for Prabhupada. And by that time, Prabhupada was ready for prasadam. The rice was ready in a running train in India. That is surrender to spiritual master. Huh? So that is Jamuna Mataji. And there are many more incidents how Prabhupada, young disciples who had no connection with this person ever before, like before 3-4 years, they got so much attached to Prabhupada, so much attached to Prabhupada. And it's said actually when Jamuna Mataji was saying, I will jump from the train, she meant it. Now we may also make some dialogues like that. We never mean anything like that. She meant it. She was going to jump from the train just because the rice wasn't available. And Prabhupada was not demanding or anything. Prabhupada just asked, do you have rice? And they said, no, we don't have rice. But within 20 minutes or 30 minutes, she made the rice available. That's a great inspiring incident. So anyway, Socham, we all understand Socham is like external and internal. So practically more internal and external as much as possible. Nati Manita, which I think we discussed last week, we can accept the honor, but we don't expect the honor. Accept the honor, say if some devotees come and praise for a good seva, we take that. And obviously inside we offer to our Guru Maharaj and Krishna, but from inside we are not expecting. Today, no one has said that my service was so great. Huh? No one is giving me a feedback today. I cooked so nice prasadam, but these devotees have no idea, They should at least praise Mataji or Prabhuji. I've been in the kitchen for the last 2 days. Huh? So we don't expect that. Huh? Obviously, if there are some adjustments needs to be made, we do that. Okay, so these are for the divine qualities. Prabhupada has written wonderful purport. Please read if you haven't done it. It's really nice. I wish we could just go through all these purports and, discuss many points from here. Okay, let's start from 16.4. We welcome Raghavi Mataji after a long time. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hope you had a nice trip.
Yes, Prabhuji.
You may to do 16.4.
Yes, Prabhuji. Dambho darpo bhimanascha. 16.4.
Dambho darpo bhimanascha.
Krodha.
Yes, Mataji.
Krodha parusyam evacha.
Krodha parushyam evacha.
Ajnanam chabhijatyasya.
Ajnanam cha abhijatasya.
Partha sampadam asurim.
Partha sampadam asurin.
Translation. Pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, and ignorance. These qualities belong to those of demonic nature, O son of Pritha.
Thank you, Mataji. So now first Krishna described the divine qualities. Now he's going into the demoniac qualities. So if you remember, Abhijata se word was used for the first verse as well. So divine are born with that. One more point actually I remember. So last time we discussed nature is impacted by three things. Anyone remembers those three things? Which impacts the nature, a human nature, our present nature, whatever we have.
Culture.
I think it's nature.
Can we go in the order?
Nature,
Nature.
Thank you. So what
Previous
does nature
Janma,
mean?
nature and culture. Previous Janma,
Thank
nature
you.
and culture.
Okay, so nature refers to our past conditioning of our past life. That's correct. What does nurture mean?
Brought
the
up.
environment of the immediate family, the
Yep.
environmental.
So whatever our parents or grandparents try to teach to grandkids, good or bad, whatever it may be. So that's nurture. And culture is the extended society. Whichever country we live in, whatever traditions we follow, our family may be following the tradition, may not be following the tradition. All of this impacts the person's nature, the current nature which we have, and then that's how he behaves. So some people are born with. So this is the qualities which is written as born with. So that is very important. Abhijatasya. Ja means janma. So previous verse was saying sampadam daivim. So daivi sampada. What does sampada word mean here? Sampatti. What does sampatti mean? Everyone has a lot of sampatti these days.
Wealth or
Bank. Wealth. What does wealth mean?
What
does wealth mean?
what we have acquired and what we have
What they
collected.
possess.
Okay. What we have acquired and keep close to our heart.
What they possess.
No, possess and keep close to our heart. We possess many things. Our treadmill might be in the garage, which we bought 13 years ago. We rode it 3 times and then it put in the garage after slowly put from one bedroom, from what do you call lounge room to bedroom to garage. We possess treadmill as well, but we don't possess the treadmill close to our heart unless you have some problem. Then you say, oh, I have to start using my treadmill. Take it out from the garage. Something like that. So we possess many things, but we possess them and keep close to our heart. So these qualities we keep close to our heart. So divine keeps certain qualities to their heart and demoniac keep certain qualities. And we'll see how correct Krishna is, which we can literally see around us. Krishna is giving so many nice examples. Okay, so what are these qualities of demoniac? So let's read Dambha. Anyone knows Dambha? We have read this earlier, so if you remember, that's nice. Dambha, Darpa, Abhiman. There are 3 words, similar words. What is the difference? Mausa Prabhu saying something I can't hear.
No, Prabhu, nothing. I'm just reciting what you're saying. That's all.
Okay. So Dambha. Anyone remembers Dambha? Dambha means a quality which you don't have, or possessions we don't have, but you show to others, right? Many times, some poor people, false ego, definitely. All common false ego is there. Every time false ego. In 3 words, if you see, they're all similar words. Dambha, Darpa, Abhiman. They're all 3 similar words. Ego, false ego, whatever. But what's the difference? So Dambha refers to the qualities or the possessions which we don't have, but we show to others that we have. I'm such a kind person. Really? Ask your mother how much arguments you have with your sister or brother. So mother will know when the kids are fighting. When they go in front of others, kitna seedha bacha hai. And the mother or father will say, mujhe pata hai. I know how simple my boy is. When he comes home, he brings the whole house upside down. So anyway, just something. Not that boys and girls, I'm not talking that in the serious big people, they show some qualities which I know whole Bhagavad Gita. They may not even know how many chapters are there in Bhagavad Gita. And many Indians show this sort of abhiman. This is called Dambha. You don't have the quality, but you show that you have the quality. Darpa, you have the quality and you parade of it. I'm a millionaire. Many times people show if they have some, I've seen it actually, if they have a gold ring or something, they will put their hands, if some new necklace or something, sometimes they'll put their hand here, just to show. Are you realizing I have a new necklace? It cost me $20,000 or whatever it is. So in Dambha, you don't have it, but you show up. You hire a car, a Porsche or something for 2 days, and you show up to all your friends. Your relatives come from India for 3 days, and you hire a car, hire a house, Sab mera hi hai. It all belongs to me. And we show up how great they are. And the next, whenever he goes back next day, you see they're working, in a very, very small job and just paying the rent somehow or other. So Dambha and Darpa, is it clear? Abhiman. Now, both Abhiman is there, obviously, right? You're fulfilling your false ego. What does Abhiman mean? Abhiman means you are living for your ego. Your ego is so high. You want others to praise. No, you're not parading it, but you want others to praise. And when others don't praise, your Abhiman gets hurt. मैं वहां गया था, चाय को भी नहीं पूछा. No one asked even a glass of water or whatever it may be. So Abhiman means internally you're just expecting so much man. Your false ego is so, I'm so great. But these people not even bowing down to me. I'm such a senior Vaishnava. I came here, no one even said Hare Krishna to me. So that is called Abhiman, false ego, because I am something, whatever the illusion I may have. And we want others to respect us appropriately, what we think in our mind. Like we discussed about Stuti and Ninda. Anyone still remembers the difference? Stuti and Ninda. Sorry. Okay. Apman and Ninda, I should rather say. Apman and Ninda. Anyone remembers the difference? Ujjwala Samataji, probably yes.
Yeah, Apman is what somebody does it for us. And what is the other one?
Stuti.
No, it's other way. Other
Ninda,
one.
Ninda.
Ninda. Ninda is what someone does to us. Apaman is what we feel.
Yeah.
So when we feel apamanit, insulted, then it becomes apaman. Otherwise, Amrita Prabhu, I think I shared this example in a class. Prabhuji said very nicely, if someone is sort of criticizing us for two things, which we may have done it. And when someone criticizes, and Amrendra Prabhu said, you should say, thank you, mother, for telling me these two things. Actually, I have another 48, disqualifications, which you are not mentioning. You're only mentioning two. Thank you so much. So although someone is doing ninda, criticism of this person, but this person is not feeling, rather is feeling grateful. Thank you. You only pointing out to two problems. I have actually 48 more problems. So it's a mentality. It's a mentality. No one can do man or man of us. No one can do it. They can do ninda and stuti. They cannot do man apman. Man apman sits here in our mind. And that's why they say you have to win over man and apman, because it's in your mind. See, what other is going to tell to us, we don't know. They're going to abuse us. They're going to misrepresent us. We have no control what other is going to say to us. But what we have control over how we feel about it. We feel insulted or praised about it. So that's why we have to go over it. Okay, so Dambha, Darpa, Vimanas, Krodaha, very, very angry people. Sometimes you see some people, they are always in angry mood. Chadhai rehta hai. In Hindi they call it. Some people you see something nice, smiling. Even if they have problem, they still be like smiling. Some people, even if they're in the best situation of life, they say 6:30, 6:30 baje rehte hain. They're never 9:15. They're always 6:30. So you want to be 6:30 or 9:15? Better to be 9:15. Gaurgopal Prabhu, I saw one little video of him. So one person asked him, just from a normal audience, he said, Swamiji, you're always smiling on the camera. Are you smiling off the camera as well? So Gaurgopal Prabhu said, for last 29 years, I never had a moment where I felt painless, because he has some pain here all the time. He said, for last 29 years, I didn't have one moment where I was in a painless situation. So we have our own struggles as well. And that's just one thing in his life, right? There may be another 200 things. So he said, we have to go through this. So why to go through in a dukhi way? Why in a 6:30 way? Why not in a 9:15 way? So karna hi hai to hans ke karo. So you have to go through. So go through it smilingly. Why you have to be so morose about it? Everyone has their own challenges. No one is out of challenges. Someone also asked, do you have any challenges in your life? You're a Swami, you're a Guru, this and that. And he was just laughing at it. He said, who doesn't have challenges in life? Who doesn't have challenges? Keshav Maharaj also said the same thing. He's a sannyasi. He said, everyone has challenges. Now, the type of challenges we may have, definitely they may not have those challenges. They may have different challenges. Everyone has challenges. This is the material life. And one of the Prabhupada disciples said, but these challenges are very good. Because if you look the heart rate in Hindi movies, when hero gets shot, 6 bullets or whatever, you look at the monitor is going flat and you get worried. So बोले जिंदा रहना है तो सीधी line नहीं चाहिए. A straight line is not good. Line should be fluctuating. The sign of life. So life is going upside down. You should just relish it and idealistically grow through it, not go through it. Anyway, so these people, demoniac mentality people, are always krodha, and we have many examples of that. Parusham. Parusham refers to harsh speech. Harsh speech can be a sarcastic speech, can be a foul speech, swear words. Many people use many swear words in their speech, and they think they are being very smart. I think Chaitanya Prabhu was saying this is not the sign of intelligence, it's a foolishness, because the way you speak represents the way you think. So if you're speaking in a very harsh way, in a very insensitive way, in a foul way, that means your processing is also like that, because everything starts from your thinking. So Parusham, and they think the more foul words they use, the more smarter they look. And you would have seen some, I don't name any communities, but they always are using wrong words. So these people have dambha, darpa. Dambha again means they don't have some qualities or positions. They show off to the world. Yes, actually I have it. Darpa, they have some qualities or positions. They want to show it to the whole world. And Abhiman refers to they want so much honor. They want to live for uplifting their false ego. Krodha, they're always in sort of angry mood, and Parusham, they use harsh speech. So these are the sampada, wealth, which they keep very close to their heart, of Asurin, of demonic people. Now, who is a demon? His Holiness Jayadvaita Maharaj wrote an article in BTG, just a few lines there, and he said, who is a demon? Demon is not a person who has 2 horns and some teeth coming out or fangs coming out of their mouth. He said, your neighbor can be a demon, your MP can be a demon, and Maharaj said, you can be a demon as well. Because demon is not what he looks like, demon is a mentality we are talking. Like Krodha has nothing to do with your face cut or Parusham. It's the way you deal with others. So when we read these qualities, we should not always think about other devotees whom you have seen in a Krodha mood or Parushya mood and think, he is definitely a demon. See, Bhagavad Gita is saying, no, these verses are for self-contemplation, and we should think when we become Krodhit, when we become angry, Prabhupada writes in one of the purports, I can't remember, he said, our whole body gets polluted. When we get angry, our body temperature increases, we start, breathing harshly, and you can feel your skin actually becomes hot. And then you may clench your fist against the wall or a table or just in the air. You may just do like that. So all these things. So Krodha, Prabhupada said, pollutes the whole body, which is so true. Not only the mind, pollutes the whole body. Parusham, you can be very insensitive in your speech, and it can hurt others. So we all actually have these qualities, or rather I should say disqualities, and we should try to avoid in our behavior as much as possible. And if we have it, we should try to overcome it. My Guru Maharaj said we should write, first he said humility means honesty. Honesty means you honestly accept I'm not so great. He said start from there. So humility does not mean you just fold your hand and you just bow your head down and say, Hare Krishna Prabhu, I am less than the dust of your lotus feet. Actually, it is a false ego because you expect the similar words from others. Anyway, he said humility means honesty. So you honestly sort of accept in your mind, I'm not such a great devotee. I'm a weak devotee. You may be a devotee, but you're a weak devotee. And he said, you start writing the qualities which you don't want to have and put it on the wall, he said. Put it on the wall and just look at the wall. And he said the wall may be less when you start writing because you have so many of it. So, and slowly he said, focus on one quality which you don't want to have in your personality. And he said, just Krodha, for example, one day you can think or meditate on it that today I should not be angry. And the day you think, there will be next opportunity very, very soon coming up for you that you have to get angry. And I have tested it, to be honest, and I failed. I thought this month I should not become, angry or upset. The same day, Not even the next day, the same day the opportunity arises. And I was like, what I am doing, so difficult these days. I think Prabhupada disciple, forgot his name, he said, at least we should stop doing it verbally, if not mentally. It start with verbal, no verbal upsetting on anyone or anything. Mentally, it's difficult, but at least should go from verbal to internal. So all these things are not the qualities we should judge in others. We should rather try to self-meditate on these qualities and see what we have and in how much degrees we have. You go to Manmohan Prabhu and say Bukhar, and he will say, no, with the fever, you have so many other symptoms as well. And Prabhu, it's very serious. So sometimes we don't know the seriousness of our disease. So we should humbly, honestly accept the seriousness of the disease and slowly work on each and move forward. Yes, Sakhi Radhika Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, I was reading this today and Aritri was besides me and she asked me this question and I didn't know what to answer. She said that about the anger, she said everybody has anger and Lord Shiva is like Rudra. He's famous for it. We celebrate it. So how come is he demoniac? So I said he is able to balance. Then I told her about Chitraketu's pastime.
Yeah.
But still she had this doubt.
Okay.
So I don't know how to understand. Even Durvasa Muni, I was.
Yeah. Valid question. Now, from Durvasa and Shiva, you can say they are interrelated. So obviously, Durvasa Muni sometimes gets angry because he's an extension of Lord Shiva. Now, Lord Shiva getting angry, valid question. So anger in itself is not bad, actually. How we use the anger, that is good or bad. Like Hanuman also got angry on Ravan and his Lanka. He burnt half the Lanka. Arjun was not angry, and Krishna is asking him to get angry because for war you need anger. If you're not angry, how are you going to fight with your enemies? You're just doing shama, forgive and tolerate, forgive and tolerate. Pakistani will beat you like anything. You have to come at the front. They are attacking you. The Dhritarashtra's sons are attacking you. So Krishna is asking, goading Arjuna, asochan anusochasya pragya vadansha bhajasya. He's saying, how come these impurities coming in your mind that you want to forgive these atatais? So anger in itself is not bad, but generally speaking, for us, our struggling sadhakas, anger is generally bad. Now, we cannot sort of justify because we are not at that level. Hanumanji can use anger in Lord Ram's service. Arjun can use in Krishna's seva. Lord Shiva can use. He's a Mahabhagavat. But we should not justify. I am getting angry for Krishna's cause. Generally speaking, 99.99%, you are getting angry because your ego got hurt. Generally speaking, that's the cause of our anger. So we should avoid the anger as much as possible. At least, as I said, start within your mind. Your mind should say, sometimes they say you cannot control when it comes, but you should at least retrospectively inspect yourself that I didn't do right thing, actually. I should not have got upset. It was a small thing. Or I should have, got out of the room. There was some situation which I could not handle. Get out of the situation. Many devotees say, chant Hare Krishna 10 times. Anyway, there are different measures how to control. But generally speaking, in our stage, anger is bad. But anger in itself is not bad. It's needed. Prabhupada said violence we definitely avoid, but violence has its place. Violence is needed for Kshatriya. Otherwise, how he going to fight a dharma yuddha? Is it okay? Okay. Let's move to the 5th verse. Rupam Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Okay, sorry, Rupam Prabhu, Madhuri Mataji wants to add something on anger. She never gets anger.
No, Prabhu, not. I just want to add, when I was just going through Shiva Tattva, there they said that Lord Shiva gets anger, no doubt, but he is not controlled by anger. He controls the anger, but he is not controlled by anger. So that is the difference. Yes. I just wanted to add.
No, actually, it's a very good point, Mataji. I heard, when you are telling, I heard from another sannyasi, similar thing. Even if you get upset, like no one can say, I will never get angry. No one can say that. But he said, at least you should get angry. Not that it's a recommendation, but it's just a solution. Be in control. Don't just go out of the way, whatever you speak. With the anger, what you will say and what you will do with your hands and legs, we don't know, right? So at least you should, in a controlled state. And the example given is Devyani and Sharmishta. Devyani, when she got angry, she was still glorifying Lord Vishnu. When Sharmishta got angry, because she was a Kshatriya, she was the girl action more than the words. Devyani was glorifying Lord Vishnu and Brahmanas, actually, although she was angry. But Sharmishta got angry and she pushed Devyani. She took all her clothes out and pushed her in a dark well. So that sort of anger definitely not needed, because she got out of control, basically out of control. So obviously we should try to avoid in a speech as well, definitely in action, but in a speech as well, be controlled. Sometimes in making loud voice may resolve certain situations. Okay, but you are in control in your mind. I'm not getting angry, but I'm just resolving a situation because this person only understands, in this frequency. So fully controlled way. Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, that's what Prabhu. So when it goes out of control, then it becomes a demoniac nature. For example, if mother is getting angry on children, but she will never go out of the control and hit them left and right, right? She's always in the control.
Not really. Not
No,
really.
I mean, it will never harm the children, even though she is.
Sometimes people don't know what they are doing. Sometimes, anyway, that's a big chapter in itself. But yeah, the principle we should understand. This is the principle, and then it's a whole range. It's not right or wrong. It's a whole range. It's a gray area. We are in a spectrum. Try to be in a lower spectrum rather than a higher spectrum. And then slowly it will come down to zero after mercy. Okay, 16.5. Rupam Prabhu, would you like to read?
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Devi Sampad Vimokshaya.
Devi Sampad Vimokshaya.
Nibadhaya Surimata.
Nibandhaya Asuri Mata.
Masucha Sampadam Devim.
Masucha Sampadam Devim.
Abhijato Si Pandava.
Abhijato Si Pandava.
Translation. The transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation, whereas the demoniac qualities make for bondage. Do not worry, O son of Pandu, for you are born with the divine qualities. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. So Devi Sampad, if you have Devi Sampad, now he's doing a little comparison because he has done divine qualities and demoniac qualities. He's doing a little comparison. Devi Sampad will lead to moksha. So if you have good qualities, it will lead you towards the liberation. Now, be very clear on this point. These divine qualities will lead to liberation. Divine people are not liberated people. Liberation is on their goal. So be very clear. Divine people are not liberated like you can say the demigods. No, generally they are very, very nice people. They have very divine qualities, but they are not liberated people. And asuras you can see on the Prithviloka at least. There's so many demoniac people. So divine are not liberated. They are on the journey to be getting liberated. They may make mistakes and come down like a sap CD. What do you call it? Snake and ladders. You go up and down, up and down, up and down. We are like in passion. Sometimes we display our divine qualities and other time our demoniac qualities. Anyway, so divine qualities leads to moksha and nibandha asuri mata. So asuri qualities, demoniac qualities, nibandha. Nibandha means bandhan, bondage. So if we have demoniac qualities, it will lead to bondage. If you have demoniac qualities will lead to bondage and divine qualities will lead to liberation. Now, Arjuna is thinking in his mind, sometimes I also have to get angry, may speak harsh words in the war, right? We have to speak like that. We have to display your krodha. So he's thinking, hang on a second, Krishna, am I a demoniac person or a divine person? So Krishna is clarifying that here. It is by Baladev Vidyabhushan. He sort of clarifies this sentence. Masuchaha, anyone remembers what another verse in Bhagavad Gita which has the same word? Everyone knows that one. I hope so. Thank you. So what does Masuchaha mean?
Do not fear.
Daro mat. Do not fear. Do not be afraid. So Arjun, do not be afraid. Sampadam Daivim. You have sampada of divine. Abhijatosi Pandava. Hey Pandava, hey Arjun, you are born with the divine qualities. So why I have to be getting angry and parusha? That is just fulfilling your duty in a dharma yuddha. So Arjun is not have krodha or other harsh qualities, but sometimes in the battle you have to do all that. But that doesn't mean that's your default nature. Huh? It's a part of the job. Huh? You can say job description. Huh? Just fulfilling a job there. 16.6. Who wants to read? Whoever hasn't done it, and
Can I do, Prabhu?
anyone can go. Okay, so okay.
Dvau bhuta sargau lokesmin
Vabhuta sargo lokesmin
daiva asura eva cha
deva asura eva cha
daivo vistarasha prokta
daivo vistara shaha
asuram partha me shrunu.
asuram partha me shrunu.
O son of Pritha, in this world there are two kinds of created beings. One is called the divine and the other demoniac. I have already explained to you at length the divine qualities. Now hear from me of the demoniac.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So, dva bhuto sarge loke asmin. So, asmin loke, in this loka, dva, there are two types. Dva bhuta, there are two types of divinities. Daiva asur evacha. So certainly there are two categories Krishna is saying. One is Daiva, one is Asur. Now in 15th chapter, Krishna says a similar words for Shara and Akshara. So Shara is fallible and infallible. So we are talking within fallible, there are two categories, Sura and Asura. In Padma Purana, there's a verse which sort of says any person who is a Vishnu Bhakta, he is a Sura. Who is not a Vishnu Bhakta is a Asura. Very clear definition. Very, very clear definition. Now we have to understand based on the context as well. So who is Sura and who is Asura? Sometimes it changes based on the context. But generally, if you are a devotee of Lord Vishnu or you're sort of striving to be a devotee of Lord Vishnu, you are a Sura, generally speaking. And that's why Devatas are called Sura. Why? Generally, they are actually very good people. They are always followers of the Vishnu. Sometimes some incident happen, which we read in Srimad Bhagavatam, for example, and that's why they are published. Now, if I speak a lie, it will not get published at all. It will not even get noticed, right? But Indra speak a lies, Brahma speak a lies, because they are not expected to speak lie. Humans are meant for lying. In Ramayana, Shivji says to Parvati, at one place after a visit to Agastya Rishi, he said, humans are supposed to lie, not you. Parvati was lying, and Shivji was very surprised. How come Parvati got this quality? This is the quality of humans. So if humans lie, no one even bothers. It's just default. When they speak truth, sometimes that has to be sort of published. Arey, aaj sach bola isne. Today speaking the truth. So yeah, Devatas usually never make those sort of mistakes, but sometimes they do, and that's what we read. So we should not misjudge them as this is their default quality. It's not like that. They're very, very high quality people. But they are called mixed devotees, because they have some mixed desires. They're not pure devotees. So Deva Surecha, Devo Vistarsha Prokta. Prokta refers to, I've already said, Daiva, about divine quality, Vistarsha, Vistar se. Vistar means in detail. I've already explained you the divine qualities. Asuram Parthameshwaram. But demoniac, I have not explained in detail. Let me explain you the demoniac way of life. Now, where Krishna has explained Vistarasha, what does Vistarasha mean here in detail? Where he has explained in detail. In this chapter, he only explained 3 verses, or you can say 2.5 verses. But where he has just explained in detail, anyone can guess? Why Krishna is saying, I have already explained that in detail. Only 2.5 verses, and now he's going to explain 16 verses for demoniac. And he's saying, I have explained in detail. Why?
I think it's in the earlier chapters. Don't know which one.
Earlier chapters. Like in 13th chapter, we have, a bunch of verses, 3-4 verses. In 12th chapter, we have verses. 14th chapter, we have verses. 2nd chapter, we have verses. 3rd chapter, so practically every chapter Krishna has covered where he has explained about the divine qualities, transcendental qualities. But Asuric qualities, he has not dedicated any section as yet. Now, sometimes he is saying, if you have Shraddha, you go this way. If you don't have Shraddha, Asanshaya Atma Vinashyati. He said something. So, but now he's going to explain in details about the mentality of the demons, about the activities of the demon and the consequences of the demoniac mentalities and actions. So now he is going to explain in detail about the demoniac. Let's read Krishna's word, beautiful words of Krishna. 16.7. Sundar Gopal Prabhu, sorry, last time you raised your hand.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha
Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha
jana cha vidurasura
jana na vidurasuraha
nishocham napi chacharo
na shocham napi chacharo
na satyam teshu vidyate.
na satyam teshu vidyate.
Those who are demoniac do not know what is to be done and what is not to be done. Neither cleanliness, nor proper behavior, nor truth is found in them.
So now Krishna is talking about a few intrinsic characteristics of demons. Let's see. So, Pratim cha nivartim cha jana na vidur asura. So, vidu means, anyone remembers? Vidu? To know. Huh? So, yes, Rupam Prabhu?
I was saying Pandit, like the one who is intelligent.
Vidwan, yeah, Vidwan, words come from there. So, vidhatu, where the Veda come, vid means to know. So, basically, a simple meaning is, so, na vidu, they do not know. Who do not know? Asura jana. I'm just sort of breaking the words. They do not know. Asur jana, the demons, do not know. What they do not know? Come to the first line. Pravrittim cha, nivrittim cha. Pravritti means what needs to be done. Nivritti means what not needs to be done. So these demoniac people do not know what needs to be done and what should not be done. Now, if you see people around you, you go to downtown Sydney, town hall, go for a night ride. If you go, I don't recommend that, but if you go, you will see in town hall Sydney, the scene is not very conducive for devotional advancement. Now, for them, this is the best. For them, you'll see what these people, what you do, hold in the temple. Anyway, so who will decide pravritti and nivritti? Says Shastra will decide. Like a government decides what the rule of the state should be. So similarly, what the rule of human should be, or practically for all the jivas, should be decided by Shastra. So as per the Shastra we are talking, so that's very, very clear. What should be done? What should be done? A simple example, you should help others, be compassionate on others, don't do violence to others, and all those nice things, for example. Do they do those things? No. They're being extremely violent. They're killing so many animals, humans, wherever possible. They're doing all the nonsense activities. And nivritti means, simple example, you should not drink alcohol, should not lie, don't hurt others, and blah, blah, blah. And they're doing exactly opposite. They say alcohol should not be consumed. What do you call? There's a word, RSA, I guess, responsible services for alcohol or of alcohol, something like that. So drink alcohol, that's fine, but drink responsibly. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean? The person who's giving the alcohol, he gets his, whatever money, and then he gives the glasses. What does RSA? How many people follow that? Drugs, young school boys, girls taking drugs. And I heard recently a term which I didn't know, to be honest. I guessed it, but I didn't know. Vaping. Not sure how many of you know, but I heard that term from a parent recently. Vaping in schools, young school children are, this is sort of a smoking. I came home and actually I searched it. And I came to know it's not as harmful as smoking, but it is as good as smoking if you do it, continuously for, I don't know, there's a ratios given. So young girls and boys are doing all this. So they don't know what should be the pravritti, what should be the nivritti, what should be done, what should not be done. And many times, if not all the time, they do exactly opposite. Exactly. What should not be done, they will be doing all the time. Like watching video games, movies, whole day they're lying there so far, not doing anything. That should not be done. They're doing predominantly that activity. And pravritti, go to the temple or church or whatever. They should at least bow down to God and speak nicely to their elders. Ekdam ulta. Exactly opposite activity. And again, we should try to meditate on these verses for our behaviors as well. Na socham. Socham means cleanliness. They don't have any cleanliness. I heard in a lecture of Prabhupada disciple, I'll not name it, and he said when we were young children, there were like 5 or 6 children 5, 6 brothers or sisters this disciple had. When we were young, we'll only take bath once in a week. Every Friday, the mother will give bath to all the 6 children. And he said, I didn't know that, the bath should be taken every day. He didn't know about it. And he said, when he came to Hare Krishna, this is one of the things in Hare Krishna's, the sannyasi told in a lecture, he said, are you those people who take a lot of baths in a day? So we are infamous for taking too many baths. What? Like when we were giving Brahman initiation, we were told actually, you have to take 3 baths a day. Now, it's not easy, 3 baths a day. But again, it's not the hard line, but wherever possible, we should try to be very, very clean. That's what it means. They have no socham. So 1 bath a day is too much, actually, too much for them. They use that, what do you call, deodorant. Every morning they put deodorant and they're out on the street and they do brush in the office after having their, cake or whatever, burger and coffee and tea, whatever. Na socham. They go to toilet and you would have seen it. They don't even wash hands. They just in and out straight. They don't use the basin at all. And then they shake hand. Oh my God. So our Vedic culture is so good, so good. In Corona time, all the shaking was stopped actually because of Corona. But Vedic culture is already saying, just do namaste. It's so nice. We're still respecting others and we're remembering God. Na socham. They don't have any socha. Na chapi chacharo. Acharo. Acharo refers to behavior. Their behavior is not good. So how many? Na satyam. They don't speak truth. Now you see in Kali Yuga, there's hardly any people speaking truth. Most of the people, most of the time, lying to you. They say, na kya sochte hain, kya bolte hain, kya karte hain, sab kuch alag hai. What they think, what they say, and what they act is all different. In the previous ages, if they said, that's it, done. I heard in Raja Harishchandra and Vishwamitra. It was a test, but this is what it was. And Vishwamitra said to Raja Harishchandra, if I'm not wrong, this is the story. He said, Maharaj Harishchandra, you came in my dream and you donated all your kingdom to me. And Harishchandra said, okay, so it be. Imagine if this was a Kali Yuga. The king will say, Acha, I came in your dream and I donated. Forget it. But it was a Satyuga, and he said, so it be. It's yours, Maharaj. Take it. And Vishwamitra took it. Obviously, he was testing Harishchandra, but so much pakka they were there. If they said something, Bhishma said something, he will just follow by the letter. He cannot even think that, I may compromise. This situation is very hard. Let me compromise. Satyavati was saying, Vyasadeva was saying, Bhishma, you have to take care of a kingdom. Bhishma said, no means no. Parashuram said he should get married to Amba. Bhishma said, no, I have taken a vow. A man of words, a man of integrity. I think last week we had VSS, Vidura, man of integrity. Now it has a deeper meaning as well, but just one example here. Satya means Satya. Nateshu vidyate. So these qualifications or disqualifications do not exist in these people. 16.8. Maybe I can go just by my screen. Rasan and Prabhu is top of my screen, or Mataji, maybe you can read.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Asatyam aparatistam te.
Asatyam apratishtam te.
Jagat ahur anishwaram.
Jagat ahur anishwaram.
Aparasparas sambhutam.
Aparaspara sambhutam.
Kim anyat kim haitukam.
Kim anyat kama haitukam.
They say that this world is unreal, with no foundation, no God in control. They say it is produced of sex desire and has no cause other than lust.
Thank you, Mataji. So asatyam. So what is their sort of perception of the world? Their perception of the world is asatyam. You would have heard this asatyam. Brahma satya jagat mithya. So asatya means this is not satya, it's mithya. Mithya means it doesn't exist. No, Prabhupada says asatyam refers to Mayavad. Apratishtam. Apratishtam, Prabhupada writes, with no foundation means there's no source of it. We say God is the source of it, right? Aham sarvasya prabhu mata sarvam pravarte. Apratishtam. There's no source of it. It just happened by chance, it was just there. a perfect place for us to enjoy. Jagat Ahur Anishwaram. Anishwaram means there is no God. Anishwar, no Ishwara. So there is no God. Now we know these concepts of atheism, deism, and theism. So theism means God was the creator and God is the controller. So God created the world and God is sort of running this world. That's what theistic people believe in. Deism is God was the creator, God created it. So because they have no answers to the question, how come this whole thing existed? So they say, yeah, God created it, but not God is not the controller anymore. This is called deism. These terms are given by Jiva Goswami actually in the Sets and Darbars. So deism is God was the creator, but he's not the controller anymore. Why? Because we see so much violence here and humans are doing so much nonsense. If God was a controller, he could have controlled. So he said God was the creator, but he's not the controller anymore. And atheism says God was neither the creator nor the controller. So there are three terms we should remember. Now, people are in different categories at different times based on their situation, Dal badal in Hindi they call it. Whatever the favorable situation is, they sort of go in that party. So Anishwaram, what they are saying, no God in control anymore. So they don't
Prabhu,
have
can you
any
repeat
belief.
that, Prabhu?
So
The three
theism,
categories, can you repeat?
theism, Prabhu, theism,
Okay.
deism, atheism. So theism, deism, atheism. So first one is creator plus controller is God. Second is creator, yes, controller, no. And third is he's not the creator, he's not the controller. It's just happened. And this is what the different categories we are reading. So asatyam, apratishtam, anishwaram.
Sorry, bro, did you say
So,
Jiva Goswami said this?
yes. So not in English, obviously. In Sanskrit, it's been converted into English. I don't know the Sanskrit terminology. He sort of has written detail about it. And just for example, and I think everyone will agree with that, atheism just is not existing in the modern times. Atheism always existed in history. And I heard in Chaitanya Prabhu's one lecture, he said the amount of literature which atheism is produced in Sanskrit has not been produced in any other language. In Sanskrit language, the most number of literature exists which propounds this theory of atheism. And he gave two examples. He said Buddhism and Jainism. They are atheist religion, basically. They have some differences. But Buddhism and Jainism, which are sort of branches, you can say, broken branches, but they actually have this theory, there is no God. There is no God. Anyway, it's a whole different subject matter, how they deal with this question. But they have, Sanskrit language has produced the most number of literature which proves the atheism theory. So it's always been there. If you remember one Rishi, Charvak Rishi was there, and Prabhupada quoted him. Charvak Rishi was saying, Prabhupada quoted the Sanskrit verse, I'm just translating in English. He said, even if you have to borrow, you should borrow money and drink ghee. And someone said, but if you have to borrow money, then you have to pay it off because ghee is expensive. And the response of this Rishi was in Sanskrit language. He said, but you don't pay the debt and you just die. And someone said, but if you die with the debt, you have to come back to life. And this Rishi said, Punarjanma na vidyate. There is no Punarjanma. You don't come back ever in life. So basically he said, just enjoy and relish in life. So when Prabhupada was quoting this verse, one of the Prabhupada disciples said, but this was an Indian Rishi and, talking about borrowing and not repaying the debt. Indian Rishi is supposed to be higher, and Prabhupada sort of refocused on the verse. He said, Indian Rishi was there. That's why he was talking about drinking ghee, not drinking alcohol. So he sort of, defended Indian Rishi, and he said he was Indian Rishi. So he's talking about drinking ghee. Drinking ghee is still good. He's saying he was not talking about drinking alcohol, but your rishis. He didn't say that way, but so-called their seniors, they call it drinking alcohol is perfectly normal. Someone was saying at my work during Corona, I still remember vaguely, and he said, we can't even get beer these days. How come? This is just completely, insane. I can't get beer. Oh my God, people who are mad because they could not go to beer bar. Can't live without it. Anyway, so next line, it says aparaspar sambhutam. So aparaspar, Prabhupada writes, says this word has come without any cause. And we know there's so many theories, so many modern scientific theories. There's no cause. Sambhutam is arisen. So this word has been created or arisen with no cause. But they said there has to be some cause. He said, yes, kim anyat. What other cause is there except one cause? Kam hai tu kam. Kam hai tu kam is, Prabhupada writes, two places. It is produced of sex desire and has no cause other than lust. So the whole world is produced out of sex desire or lust. This is what their perception of this world is. And then what you do in the world, we'll see that. Kama. It has come from kama, lust, and the purpose of this is to fulfill the lust. And one of the Prabhupada disciples, I remember, he was doing his PhD or postgrad. He was writing an exam. And one of the questions, sort of similar wordings I'm using, what's the most prominent driving force behind this world? So this young person in the exam, he wrote kindness, compassion, blah, blah, blah. So his teacher, the postgrad teacher, sort of was correcting the paper, and he said, the driving force behind this word is sex desire. So this disciple was very upset, and he went to Prabhupada and he said, Prabhupada, my teacher is saying like that, it has to be some nice things, kindness, compassion, and humanity and all that. So Prabhupada said, your teacher is right. The driving force behind this word in the current modern world is sex desire. Everything, practically speaking, is driven by sex desire. And people think if they can have this male-female association, their life is fully successful. And this is the most prominent thing which exists in their mind. Chaitanya Prabhu said in one class, if we somehow can open the mind of people in the world, the top ranking, he said that if somehow you can open the mind, if you could see it, the top ranking desires in their mind will be lust. Chaitanya Prabhu said that. This is one of the most prominent desire in people's heart, most prominent desire. And Prabhupada says, your teacher was right, this word is driven by sex. Now, we're not saying it's right or wrong, that's not what we are discussing, but this is what the present situation is. Most of the people think this will solve all their problems. Like in previous ages, if they get some suffering, they will do some karmic adjustments. Karmic adjustments means, oh, I'm suffering, let me do some more donation. Let me call brahmanas. Let me do some seva in the temple. This is how people will sort of react to their improper conditioning. But now how they react, if this person is causing me trouble, let me sue him. Let me hurt him. Let me buy another gadget. This iPhone 5 is not working. Let me buy iPhone 8. Is there an iPhone 8? I'm not sure. Maybe even higher version. My GK is out of date. Anyway, whatever 8 or 18 is there. So my life is in trouble because I don't have i18. So all these things have fallen so much. At least in Vedic ages, people believed in karma. Nowadays, people just don't believe in that concept at all. They said, if I'm clever enough not to get caught, why not? Just if no one catches me, it's fine, isn't it? No one catches me. Everyone has this so-called privacy rules. Prabhupada said, a sadhu doesn't have a private life. Sadhu's life is my Guru Maharaj wrote a book, Sadhu, a public hermitage. Public hermitage. He's a public servant. He wrote a book. That was the topic. But they think it is produced, this word is produced out of sex desire and has no cause other than the lust. So let's continue. 16.9, we have Vinay Prabhu. I'm not sure if you can read. If you cannot, it's all right.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, please.
Etam drishtim avastabha.
Etam drishtim avastabhya.
Nashto atmano alpa buddhaya.
Nastatmano alpa buddhaya.
Prabhavasti ugra karmana.
Prabhavanti ugra karmana.
Kamaya jagat ahita.
Shayaya jagato hitaha.
Translation. Following such conclusion, the demoniac who are lost to themselves and who have no intelligence, engage to unbeneficial, horrible words, mean to destroy the world. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So now Krishna is moving from mentality to activity. So mentality has been described. Now activity. What do they do? Etam drashtim avasthabhya. Avasthabhya means they accept the vision. What was the vision in the previous verse? Kim anyat kam hai to kam. This is their vision. So very simple vision they have. So now with that vision, etam drashtim. So they have this vision, they accept this vision, they live this vision. What do they do? Nast atmano. Atmano refers to their soul. Nast means destroy. They destroy their soul. Now, technically, no one can destroy the soul. So we're not talking that. Soul is indestructible, as we read in second chapter. But what it means here, the soul's consciousness is practically destroyed. They degrade themselves so much. One of the Prabhupada disciple, a sannyasi disciple, he was telling in a class in Sydney a few years ago, when he was young, before coming to Krishna consciousness, and Maharaj said the only regulative principle they had to break every single regulative principle. And Maharaj said very clearly, Maharaj said there was no sin under the sun which we had not performed. These were the words of Maharaj. There was no sin under the sun, no sin. And now he's become Maharaj, very great sannyasi. So, Nastatmana refers to very much degradation, practically speaking, killing the soul. There's a verse in Ishopnishad, Atmaha. Ha also refers to killing the soul. He is the killer of the soul. Now, killer of the soul again means degrading the consciousness of the soul a lot. Why they are degrading it, destroying it? Alpa buddhayaha. Anyone remembers another place in Bhagavad Gita where Alpa buddhaya word is used for demigod worshippers in 7th chapters. So if you go to demigods, you are Alpa Buddhi. And if you go to Mayavad, you are called Abuddhi. That's a Sanskrit word actually. But Prabhupada actually writes very sort of generously. They are less intelligent. Actually, the Sanskrit says no intelligence at all. Alpa Buddhya, they are Alpa Buddhi and they are doing Nastatmana. They are destroying their soul. And what activities they involve in? Prabhavanti. Prabhavanti means they flourish. They flourish in what activity? Ugra karmanaha. Ugra karmana. So not like a sattvic activities, they are passion and ignorance activities. And we know around the world, everything is so ugra these days. The bikes and the cars. My Guru Maharaj was giving a class and he was saying, when in the morning we get up, the first thing we do, we brush our teeth. But the toothpaste is made up of ugra. You know, in the toothpaste, they put, I don't know how many products they put in toothpaste. He said, we start ugra in the morning by brushing our teeth. Then he said, we take, this deodorants and whatnot. And then we eat ugra like burgers and chips and whatnot. We sit in a ugra car. We drive with ugra mentality. We arrive at work with ugra mentality. We are angry at our boss or angry at our employees. And when we come back, we are angry at our family people. So ugra karma means destructive activities. And what's the result of that? Shayai jagato hitaha. Shayai jagata means destroying the world. Like humans are doing so much destruction these days. All these global warming, killing animals and wiping up all the forest is just destroying the nature. Jagato ahita. So they are not doing any hita. Okay, we can say on a major scale, they are doing ahita. Some smaller scale, they are definitely helping as well. But majority speaking, they are involved in ugra karma, and the result is destruction of the world. And one more example which comes to my mind: so many nations are, doing war against each other. We have this Russia, Ukraine. I'm not sure it's still going on. Probably yes. For practically, some political reasons, they have declared the war, and all the innocent people, many people civilians are getting destroyed. Their children are suffering. Their parents are suffering so much. So this is all Chayaya Jagato Ahita. So the word is ahit. They are not doing any hita activity, beneficial activity. They are doing activities which are unbeneficial and destructive. Yes, Madhuri Mataji.
Just thought of adding one example for
Sure.
Ugra Karmana. Over
Yes.
the weekend, there was NRL match happened, and I just watched 1 minute, Prabhu. Their players were so ugra, and when they saw, I didn't think they are human beings at all. I looked at them with their body and their ugra. I felt like they are some rakshas or something. And I was telling Kittu, how are you able to see this at all? Like, they were so ugra. Like, even for the entertainment, they would prefer such type of things.
So much passion they have, and they just want to practically kill the other person. The sports is not a sports anymore. It's become a yuddha. It's like a war. Okay, if you win a match or lose a match, what's such a big deal? But that sporting spirit is not there anymore. It's a yuddha. And it's all commercial, actually. It's all business, actually. But yeah, it's very, very good. I've seen some advertisement, even in workplace, lunchtime, some TV is there. They're running and then doing like that. It's not.
They were hitting each other. I mean, I just saw for 1 minute and I could not continue to see.
Yeah, so it's just one example, right? And they consider this as entertainment, just entertainment they are doing. So much degraded entertainment. Yeah. So many good activities they are involved in for the ahita of Jagat, destruction of the Jagat. 16.10. Prasannatma Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. 16.10. Kamam ashritya dushpuram.
Kamam ashritya dushpuram.
Dambhamana madanvitaha.
Dambhamana madanvitaha.
Mohan grihitva sadgrahan. Mohan grihitva sadgrahan.
Mohan grihitva sadgrahan.
Pravartante asuchi vrataha.
Pravartante asuchi vrataha.
Translation. Taking shelter of insatiable lust and absorbed in the conceit of pride and false prestige, the demonic, thus illusioned, are always found to unclean work, attracted by the impermanent.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So, kamam ashritya. So, we are supposed to take ashray or shelter of Krishna or the holy name or holy people. And what ashray shelter they are taking? Kamam ashritya. Kamam refers to lust. Now, lust can obviously refer from a small to big thing, but they take shelter of this kama, lust, which in nature is what? Dushpuram. Dushpuram refers to unsatiable. Now, how many times they would have involved in these sort of activities? Simple example, alcohol drinking. A person can say it's enough. A person who's drinking alcohol or taking drugs, they will never say it's enough. They will never say it's enough. More and more, male-female attraction, more and more and more and more. They will never say it's over. That's enough for me. Kama Marshid, they've taken shelter of Kama, lust, which is insatiable. Kabhi na pura hone wala, which will never get completed. Dambha man madan vitaha. They are dambha. Dambha, anyone still remembers the definition of dambha? Anyone can say?
The one who does not possess it but shows off.
Can you give an example, Prabhuji, from modern society? I remember one example, without going to miss, some group of people were talking in a very sad situation where someone has passed away. They're talking about Indian politics. And they were sort of blaming Indian Prime Minister. Why is he doing like that? He should have done like that. Another person, no, he should have done like that. He should have done like that. I'm like, do you have any idea how responsible that position is and how carefully they have to take the steps? You can't even run one family and you're talking about running the whole India. People just jump into the conversations and give their opinion left, right, center without understanding anything about it. And they think I'm the Vyasadeva, I'm the authority on this particular matter. And they give their opinions without thinking anything. That's also a sort of dambha, because you're showing your expertise in something which you're not. And that dambha can come in devotees as well. Asking a practical question. How? Anyone can give an example of how the dambha can come in devotee circle as well. How come? Akhand Rasa Prabhu keeps smiling, big smile.
Sometimes we can be proud of we are doing such a wonderful service or something, and which we are not really doing much.
And we are parading of it. You know, yesterday whole day, I read a message on one WhatsApp group. I couldn't understand. This devotee was saying like this person is the only person who is running the Sydney temple. And wrote in the message as well. Anyway, not in these words, obviously different wordings, but like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the whole schedule. So Dambha means, or I'm too proud of my knowledge. I may know like 4 verses, but I show up. I know the whole Bhagavad Gita. ये तो मेरे बाएं हाथ का खेल है. This is just left hand thing. Huh? You only know like after 5th.
Is also there.
Sorry, Mataji.
I am the humblest person.
I'm the humblest person. Thank you, Mata. Very nice example. I remember my Guru Maharaj giving this example. Huh? I can be very proud of showing I'm not proud. I'm so humble. I'm the humblest person in the whole Sydney congregation. Huh? So Dambha is not only in the like a demons, it can come in devotee community as well. So you have to be very careful how we speak. Do we really mean it? Huh? So, and you will see, Bhakti Rasamant Maharaj said very nicely, he gave a simple example. A tree which has fruits is always humble. Huh? वो हमेशा झुका हुआ होता है. Huh? A tree which has no fruits is always standing like this, like a pillar. Huh? So when we are becoming like a pillar, like a stambha, we have actually no fruits. Huh? A fruit bearing tree is always going down, always going down. Huh? So humility should increase, not decrease when you progress or you advance in devotional life. Huh? And you see the sannyasis, and you would have experience, I'm sure, are one of the most humble people. I'm not saying if you're not a sannyasi, you're not humble. No, many devotees are very, very humble. But you see, sannyasis, they have just no pride, although they are so knowledgeable, they have so much authority, but they are one of the most humble people in the movement. Huh? You'll find this is so simple, so simple. And we know little bit, we have one certificate or something, we may have one seva in the temple or in the congregation and feel like Sara boj main hi dho raha hu. All the like work I am doing for the congregation. If I am not there, what will happen to Sydney temple? Huh? So Dambha can come in different colors and flavors, and we should be very, very careful about it. We should be very feeling fortunate when we get a service, and as much as our capacity, as per the guidance given, we should try to do it. And then it will be very pleasing to Guru. So one definition I heard in one class, very nice. He said, when we take the service, like showing that I'm so great, I can do it, that's called Kam. Kam doesn't mean to lust, like a karma, But when the service is given to you, that's called seva. That's why we should take the services from our seniors. So again, it does not mean we should always wait for the service. Kisi ne kaha hi nahi, no one has said it. So I was just waiting. It doesn't mean that. It means you show by your service attitude that you are willing to take. And when the seniors give you, that is very pleasing to Prabhupada or seniors, because that's a seva. This given, this person is responsible, and I give this seva. And obviously, we'll have our limits and we may be not able to take more services. But the point is, we should try to do seva, not karma. So in devotional life also, we might be doing karma, pious activity, not seva. So we should go for seva, not karma. Huh? So we should, it says, produce ourselves in a very humble state, in a qualified state to our seniors, and then seniors will give you the seva. And especially the camera sevas, we should be very careful of. When the camera is involved, you're getting recorded, you're sitting on Vyasasana, you're giving a class or that sort of seva, we should be very careful, because that can bring or lead to pride very easily. I'm great, I'm speaking. So after the seva, you should become more better devotee, more humble devotee. And if the pride has come in you after the seva, actually the whole purpose of seva was lost, isn't it? Because seva was given to you for your purification. And what has happened? The impurities have come in, more impurities have come in. So we should be very careful in how we do the seva. It says it's the attitude which matters, not the altitude. Altitude means how high you are. It's the attitude which matters, not the altitude. So we, many times, even in devotion service, trying to achieve many altitudes in devotion. So altitude is not needed. It will come by Krishna's grace if needed. But what we should worry about, our attitude, how we are behaving with each other, how we are behaving with other devotees, with deities, with our spiritual master, instruction-wise. That's what we have to sort of focus on. Altitude will come automatically. We should not worry about it. But we sometimes get worried about altitude. हमको सब मानते हैं कि नहीं? Does everyone recognize me? Krishna needs to recognize, your spiritual master needs to recognize your services, and that's the biggest recognition. Rest, everything is external. Everything is external. We don't need to worry about those things. Yes, Ujjwala Samataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yeah, sometimes it is seen that devotees use these words like I'm the lowest of all and I'm the most fallen and all these. So they may mean it, or they may have it, or they may not.
Mostly, I've heard it's a flavor of false ego. I've heard in lectures, a flavor of false ego. Mostly.
Yeah. It's like a ISKCON lingo, certain things are said just for the sake. So
Yes.
I'm just wondering that should a person refrain from saying these, or
Yes.
does this quality rub off on you as you keep thinking and meditating upon it?
So there's a difference in that. It says fake it till you make it, but fake not in a way which increases your false ego. Fake in a way which you really mean it. Many times I've really said no to some devotees for certain things because I didn't literally feel qualified for that seva. So it should just come from your heart, and I did not elaborate. Okay, we should not give our own example, but we should not just elaborate the conversation. If you think it's based on false ego, we know which person you are. Does he really mean it? People make so many statements, that doesn't mean anything. Now, we should not waste our time there, to be very honest. Just fold your hand, Hare Krishna, wish good to them, get out. We should only associate as much as possible with senior Vaishnavas. This should be our byline when we go to temple. Byline. I'm not coming temple for anything else except to associate with senior Vaishnavas to clarify my doubts. No social conversation. I'm fallen. You should not even. Okay, Prabhu, you're fallen. I don't feel I'm fallen. And that's a true situation, actually. I don't feel I'm fallen. I should be feeling. I'm not feeling. When Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says in the introduction of Chaitanya Charitamrita, I am more fallen than a worm in a stool. This is what he writes. Now you'll say, come on, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is such an elevated Vaishnava writing like that. No, he really mean it. He really mean it. And the answer to that is their point of reference is different than our point of reference. Our point of reference is material things. To be very honest, at this stage, at least I can say for myself, our point of reference is how great I am from these people. But their point of reference is spiritual personalities. When they forget Krishna for one moment, they think, oh, Narad Muni never forgets. How can I forget? So I'm fallen. And I feel great because my neighbor eats meat. I don't eat meat, so I'm so great. Or this devotee only know 4 verses, I know 6 verses, so I'm great. He doesn't have a Bhakti Shastri degree, I have a degree. What is all this? This is external. This is very, very external. What is my behavior? How that's what matters to Krishna and to Guru. Everything else is just an extension of that, and it's external. So our focus should be very clear. I'm here not getting involved in any conversation. Many negative conversation also happens, and I literally have cut off many people in many phone calls when they start going sidelines, as per me, at least, as per me. That's not a very important topic. Female gurus, this guru, I am not the authority in that topics, right? What is your view? And I said, my view has no value, actually. I don't even have, intelligence to even put my view forward. There are GBCs, there are sannyasis, they are intelligent, qualified, they will give their views, and whatever come through, it will come through. Even if I don't like it, for example, what are you going to do about it, right? You're not on that level. So I usually, even in my mind, I refrain from those conversations, those discussions, dialogues. I just don't know about that, right? So my view is very, very simple. Have association with devotees. You sit and take prasad and those devotees and talk about Krishna. Talk about Krishna. Yes, how's your health and how's your wealth and all that for 2 lines. And we generally mean it. If someone is unhealthy and we could cook prasadam, I think we should go. If we become insensitive, I think we are not following the devotee culture properly. Whatever we could. We can say some nice words, call him. Say nice words. Prabhuji, you're not well, I'm praying for you. That is a message you can send to this person. It increases the encouragement of that devotee. If you are in a situation where you can do any help with mind, words, even if you cannot say words, pray for this person in your mind. But anything else which does not improve your Krishna consciousness, you fold your hands and humbly come out. Humbly come out. Because we are not so great. Our time is very, very limited. We have so many problems to resolve in the material world. So we have limited time to associate with devotees, take full benefit. Do your seva and see how you can improve your behavior to become a better devotee in whatever way. And then go home. And again, home here does not mean a physical wall. Home means, again, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, they are our home. Go back home. Prabhupada is there, lectures are there, videos are there, and there are many, many nice devotees there. So choose your association discriminately, actually. Okay, sorry, I don't know the long response or short. Basically, my Guru Maharaj said, keep it simple. 4 things you have Bhagavatam, you have Bhagavad Gita, Nectar of Devotion, Chaitanya Charitamrita. So just as pillars, whoever increases your interest in these books or in this sort of direction, take association with that. Everything else is not so important. Yes, Sakhi Radhika Mataji.
Prabhu, I just wanted to share about the
Please.
point which you were saying. Like I heard the lecture Radhanath Maharaj was saying that about Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. He said if people now read what he's writing, they will just feel this guy is in real depression and he needs a counselor.
Yes.
And Maharaj said about fake it till make it thing. Maharaj said, you guys can try, and I can guarantee you our counselor system will be more busy afterwards, because you cannot try that what level he is on. So, and Maharaj said simply, these people are getting dreams of Nityananda Prabhu. Do you even get in your dream Srila Prabhupada? So Maharaj is like making fun and like when in a light mood he was saying.
Yes. Yeah, thank you, Mataji. It's a very nice point. So nowadays, people will perceive him very, very differently, very, very differently. And one more point I want to add. Maybe I heard from Radhanath Maharaj himself, maybe from another sannyasi. But anyway, what he said about this Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's point. So in one of the verses, he says this, and just after 2 verses or 3 verses, Maharaj added, then he said, although I'm so fallen, but I got the mercy of Nityananda. So he's not in depression. Maharaj added, he said, although he thinks he's fallen, so he personally has no qualification, but somehow he said, I got the mercy of Nityananda and I'm about to write this wonderful literature by the mercy of Vaishnavas. So we should always not only like think one side, but both sides. Although we are unqualified, somehow or other, we all of us have some mercy of Prabhupada. That's why we are sitting here today. Otherwise, why will you sitting with Hemanga Chaitanya on Wednesday night, reading Bhagavad Gita? I'm sure you all have better things to do. You're struggling to make these 2 hours. Somehow or other, you are making it. So thank you to all of you. But somehow or other, we have maybe a drop of interest in becoming a better devotee, and that's why we are sitting here. Okay, so enough on Dambha, Man, Madan, Vitas. Mohad, I'm just coming to the 3rd line here. Mohad Grahitva. So out of moha, out of illusion, Grahitva means Grahan Karna. They have accepted. What they have accepted? Asad Grahan. So what they have accepted? Asad things. So what we are trying to accept right now, Sat things. Sat means which is permanent. Asat means which is impermanent. Anyone can give example of Asat things around you? Quick one. Sad and Asad. Everyone knows that. No Asad things examples?
Everything around us.
Everything. There's not much you have to travel distance. Everything around us is Asad. Except one thing, Bhagavad Gita. So accept this one verse or Bhagavad Gita book, whatever you have in your hand right now. Everything is our body, mind, intelligence, our house, our laptop, everything is Asad. So what they are doing, Grahan of Asad Grahan. So now you see what it means. Basically, they are after the things, material things. And that's very true. People around you, and even up to an extent, we as well. We go after Asad things, yes or no? I go. Many times we are chasing these asat things, which Chaitanya Prabhu says, they are unattainable, they are unpalatable, they are unretainable. Asat things are unattainable. You dream about, I will be the next millionaire of the world or billionaire of the world. Sapna karne mein kya jata hai? And you can't even find a job which pays, 80, 100K. It's so most difficult, sometimes. So, unattainable, unpalatable. Even if you get it, my boss is very bad. I have to go to work 4 days a week and they make me work 16 hours a day. Unpalatable, And let's take a simple example of gulab jamun. Suppose you love gulab jamun or I don't know, Bengali rasgulla. I'm looking at Rupam Prabhu. And he makes that mishti dahi, something like that. Suppose Prabhuji loves mishti dahi a lot. No, not for you, for me at least. Okay, unattainable. I don't know how to make mishti dahi. I can put sugar in the dahi. That's all I can do. There's some next I can do. Anyway, so unattainable. Even if you attain it, unpalatable. Sometimes I went to some program and they make mishti dahi, and I remembered Rupam Prabhu. It's not as good as what Prabhuji makes. Different people have different flavors of making mishti dahi or dosa. Vijay Gopi Mataji is perfect in making dosas. I know, practically experienced. Some people will, and some people let me. I make dosa as well. And that dosa is nowhere to be called a dosa in front of Vijay Gopi Mataji's dosa. So unpalatable, like you get it and you like, gulab jamun ke saath hatauda kyun nahi diya? Some gulab jamuns are so tough, you need a hammer to break it. Otherwise, your teeth are not enough, don't have enough strength. And unretainable. Even if they are the healthiest gulab jamun and the most wonderfully made gulab jamun, how many gulab jamuns you can have? How many? 5, 6, 8, 10. And after that, you start becoming compassionate. Prabhu, aap bhi lijiye. Prabhu, you also take some. Just before 2 minutes. You're not thinking about Prabhu. And now when the 8th one has gone in, you're like, Prabhu, aap nahi lenge. All the compassion comes out after 8 because you're getting saturated now. And after 12, you become completely Raja Harishchandra, So Prabhuji, aaj ka ho gaya? No, you can't take anymore. You can't take anymore. Unretainable. Because after that, you can't retain. You have to run out of the room somewhere else. So it's unattainable, unpalatable, and retainable. This is called asat grahan. Now, up to an extent, we are also asat grahan. We are accepting many things. We are at least desiring many asat things. So we should go after sat things. We're not saying asat things are extremely unimportant. They may have their own importance in their life. Wealth is important. Health is important. And we should look after it. But we should not just go after so much that we forget everything else in our life. So asat grahan, these demonic people are always after asat grahan. Parvartante asuchi vrata. So like we are having some suchi vrata. Suchi vrata refers to say a Janmashtami vrat or Ramnavami vrat, Abhi Damodar Mas vrat, Purushottam Mas vrat. Something nice. We are trying to please Krishna through those small sevas. But they have asuchi vrata. I heard an example in a Chaitanya Prabhu class, which I would like to share as an example, and there are many more. He said in Thailand, if I'm not wrong, one couple made a Guinness Book of World Record of kissing each other for 47 hours in a row. 47 hours in a row. So Prabhu said, this is called Asuchi Vrata. Very determined, doing unclean things. Not clean things, unclean things. He said, even if you look from hygiene perspective, emotions and all that, keep it aside. He said, there's saliva in the mouth and it comes out after a while. And just for the sake of making a world record, they have made this record. I don't know if it's still valid. I heard it probably 10 years ago. Anyway, so this is one example of association. And you'll see many people are having what you call, what you put on a lot of tattoos. Is initiated devotee. Anyway, so I saw tattoos and I literally just sort of appreciated. He was very happy. Anyway. And I said, how do you do it? I didn't know actually, to be very honest, how do you put tattoos on? And he explained he bleeded when he was putting the tattoos. He said it was a few days or few weeks exercise and he could not tolerate the pain and then he had to go back home. It's like months exercise, he could put a tattoo. And I'm like, wow, do you really have to do? No, I'm not against tattoos if you like it or one of you has it or desiring to have it. I'm not stopping anyone. I was just very surprised to hear the process which they go through, so much painful process they go through. And they show off with so much pride. It's a very painful experience actually. Huh? So in Bhagavatam it says, in Kali Yuga, dukkeshu sukhamanina. In dukkha, they will feel sukha. Whatever activities will harm their body, their mind, they will feel sukha about it. And there are so many examples like that. So, pravartante, Prabhupada writes, they flourish. Flourish means they're doing so many. What they're doing? Asuchi vrataha. Asuchi. I remember one Indian boy who was living in my flat when I was young uni student, and he was trying different meats every day. Because in India, he could not try different meats. So he said, oh, in India, I could not get this. He was trying one day peacock, one day kangaroo. I was like, wow, he was fully determined. He was fully determined to do it. He was born in a Brahmin family. And every day, something new. I need something new. Huh? This is called Asuchi Vrata. Okay, let's move forward.
Sorry, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Mata.
Sometimes they walk on the fire, they put some needle on the cheeks.
Yeah.
Do they all come under this Suchi Vrata?
No, that's not. That may be their profession or they're in mode of ignorance. Asuchi Vrata means determination has to be there. So they are determined to do something which is very unclean. Now, walking on the fire and poking their, cheeks or whatever, they actually enjoy those activities. They're all demoniac. They're all demoniac. There's nothing sattva there. But the point is, vrata means something determined, which is very harsh and unbeneficial for them and for others. Vrata word is used there. Unclean vrata, unclean determination. Shayaya jagato hita. You remember that verse? And ugra karma. All similar things. Demonic activity. Now, this verse again goes into their mentality part. Let's read. Manmohan Prabhu or Shraddha Mataji, would you like to read?
All right, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. Chintam aparimeyam cha.
Chintam aparimeyam cha.
Pralayantam upashritaha.
Pralayantam upashritaha.
Kamopabhoga parama.
Kamopabhoga parama.
Etavad iti nishitaha.
Etavad iti nishitaha.
Ihante, sorry. Ashapasha satairbadhaha.
Ashapasha satairbadhaha.
Kama krodha parayadaha.
Kama krodha parayanaha.
Ihante kama bhogartham.
Ihante kama bhogartham.
Anyayenartha sanchayan.
Anya arthena sanchayan.
Translation. They believe that to gratify the senses is the prime necessity of human civilization. Thus, until the end of life, their anxiety is immeasurable. Bound by a network of hundreds of thousands of desires and absorbed in lust and anger, they secure money by illegal means for sense gratification. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So, chintam aparimeyam. So, parimeyam refers to major. Aparimeyam refers to immeasurable. So, their chinta are immeasurable. And there's no need to say how much chinta even we have. So, the worldly people, the demonic people, they have immeasurable chintas. Till what time? Pralayantam. Pralayantam refers to, as Prabhupada said, till the end of their life. So, you ask any person who's going to die, all your chintas are resolved. He said, ab to bad gayi hai. Shankaracharya wrote a beautiful verse, if I remember. Balavastha krida sakta, tarunavastha taruni sakta, vriddhavastha chinta sakta, para brahmi kopina sakta. So balavastha krida sakta. In balavastha means in childhood, they're attached to krida, they're attached to playing. The children are constantly playing. Tarunavastha taruni sakta. When they are young, young man is attracted to young woman, or a young woman is attracted to young man. Tarunavastha taruni sakta. Vriddhavastha, when they become old, chinta sakta. They have so many chintas. But nowadays, actually, this is very perverted now. Balavastha, chintavastha. Balavastha, even children have so many chintas. If you go in India, their bags are so heavy, even parents cannot carry. You would have seen. so much competition. Even the young children are having so much stress actually, just because of so much competition, so much competition. This says, and Tarunavastha Krida Sakta. Tarunavastha, all the young people are playing video games. They are doing Krida Sakta. Taruni Sakta is there, definitely there. Vradhavastha is Krida Sakta, Taruni Sakta, Chinta Sakta. Tino there. Like Vardha people, you go and see, what do you call? I don't even know. They hit the ball with a bat sort of thing. I don't know what you call that activity. I see Chatswood. There's a club, croquet club or something. Huh? So they hit a ball, and then the ball goes into the hole. They become very happy. They clap. All the old people there, they're putting the ball into the hole, and their life is successful. 4, 5, 6 hours, they're doing that activity. Huh? So Vradhavastha Krida Sakta. In Vradhavastha Taruni Sakta. His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj was giving a class. I heard many years ago. Just came to my mind. He said many old people are going in clubs to see some ladies. Maharaj was like speaking with so much compassion. These old people are going to beer bar to see some ladies. So Vradhavastha Taruni Sakta. And Vradhavastha Chinta Sakta is definitely there. So in this present Kali Yuga, everything is mixed up. In every age, you have everything. Huh? So Chintama Parimyam. Until what time? Till the end of their life. Upashrita, the word Upashrita is very important in saying they take shelter of Chinta. Now, no one takes shelter of Chinta or anxiety. They take shelter of the activities which leads to anxiety. A simple example, if I am greedy, suppose in government, so there are so many corrupt politicians. So they take the goose, they take some bribe, and then the bribe may lead to some chinta, or they may get caught. Someone would have taken a video of them, they will get released. But they keep doing those activities. They don't stop those activities. So chintama prem, so immeasurable chinta till the end of their life. Kamopabhog parma. And what's their sort of goal in their life? Parma refers to the goal, destination, or objective, the primary. Kamo babho, just enjoy sense gratification in different degrees, Everyone based on their capacity and their pocket, they enjoy senses. If you are rich, you enjoy differently than if you are poor. But everyone has kamo babho. Kam, ichha puri honi chahiye. Asha, this they have determined that this is all it is. This is the goal of their life. If they can do this calm, sensuality, sex desires, fulfill the sex desire, their life is success. Nishchitaha. If you ask them to come to Janmashtami, to temple, Janmashtami? Mandir? You go. Why should I go? I'm busy. What? I'm watching, India-Pakistan match today, or I have to go to this club or that club or whatever. Nishchita, this word is very nice. Now Krishna sort of expands. Asha Pashatair Baddha, they are bound with desires. How many Shatair? Shatair means 100. Shatak. The word Shatak is there, Shata. Shatair means hundreds of desires. Asha Pash. Ye karenge, I'll do this, I'll do that, then that will happen, that will happen, that will happen. You would have heard that pastime from Prabhupada. A man, a village person got a pot of, he was very poor, got a pot of milk, and he thought, oh, I got a pot of milk, and he hanged the pot of milk, and then he was thinking, I'll sell this milk and I'll get some money, and then I'll get more money, and then I'll get cows, and I'll have a whole goshala, and then I'll be very rich person, and I'll marry a girl, and then I'll have many children, and then when the children will not listen, I will slap them. And what did he do? He slapped the pot of milk, and the whole milk toppled. And Prabhupada said, all the ashas which he had, desires, hope, expectation, he had everything toppled because he slapped the children in the dream, and that slapped the pot of milk. So this is our position. We get a little pot of milk and we have so many ashas. Now today I have one house, and I'll have some savings, and I'll buy one investment property, then another one, and then another one. And this dream never ends. Never ends. So I'm not against investment properties and all that. But there has to be some end to it. We all have to have these days some savings, and this is good, and this Grasta should have it. We're not against those things, but the point is, it should not become an endless game. Endless. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Whatever is needed, some savings are needed, and rest of the time we should be spent for Krishna consciousness. Whatever is easily manageable, whatever is needed, That's it, and go for the other thing. Rest Krishna will maintain. If tomorrow everything goes, what are you going to do about it? It may happen. I heard in a lecture from Maharaj, he was telling from his personal experience. I have not seen. Maharaj said, I have seen so many rich people which comes to him, gone to from Karodpati to Rodpati in within few days or months. How their wealth goes, no one even realizes. But the wealth goes. When the time comes, all the wealth will go. So we should not have too much hope from this wealth or from our MLA, MP connections. Not have too much hopes. They will go. Asha, Pasha, the Kama, Krodha, Parayana, they have taken shelter of Kama, anger, and Krodha. Sorry, Kama is lust, Krodha is anger. Ihante Kama Bhogartham, Anya Arthena Sanchayan. And for Kama Bhoga, Kama Bhoga, you need money, right? For having your sensual desires fulfilled, you need money. So what do they do? Anya Artha Sanchayan. Sanchayan refers to they accumulate. Anya Artha means Anya means other means. Other means, you know. You're from India, you know what does other means mean, huh? So there is a salary, you know, a person gets 5,000 rupees salary, but on top of salary, you get Anya Artha, under the table. We all know that. Huh? So 5,000 from the top and 50,000, something like that. Huh? Many people do so many different activities to get this Anya Artha Sanchit, and they do Sanchit of Artha through these means. Now it's 8:59. I'll stop here. If anyone has a question, we can take it. Just for it's exactly 9 o'clock. We'll continue the discussion of the demoniac mentalities and activities from 13th verse onwards in next week. Okay, Sundar Gopal Prabhu, anything?
No.
Prasanatma Prabhu, sorry, you want to say something?
No, I was just
you wanted to say something?
Yeah. Just telling, like, you know, India, even though it is like a Punya Bhumi, but we see like Australia and these Western countries, people are externally they look better and their corruption is less. In India, it's totally opposite. Why is that like that? I was just thinking.
Okay. Yes, in India, more distractions are there these days, and it's very, very unfortunate. Very unfortunate, because and the mool reason, just the like a root reason, which I can say, which I've heard in lecture, it says the patan of Brahmanas. Brahmans falling down in India. There's so many Brahmans, they fell down. And because Brahmans fell down, the whole society is actually falling apart. Now, in these people, they have good culture for some good things. They are good. We have to just accept it. But again, the root is not there, Prabhu. They're eating beef and they're doing so many nonsense activities. Not that Indians don't eat. I'm not saying that. But in India, the main cause is falling of Brahmanas. So when the Brahmanas in any society are not as strong, the society will just fall apart. Now, the upper garment will vary. Here they may have a cleaner garment, upper clear garment, not the anarthas doesn't exist here. But India is quite visible. People have become shameless. And one of the reasons of becoming shameless as well, they know the Shastra up to an extent. So they prove their anarthas as well. And everyone, quotes this verse of Bhagavad Gita 247. Main to karma kar raha hu. I'm just doing my karma. They do all the nonsense. So in India, people justify their wrong actions as well. Again, not only in India, in other places as well. Just a root, Prabhu. Now, otherwise, it's just a whole discussion on how we can change India, as Prabhupada said, or India or the whole world, is by correct education, which Prabhupada is giving. By expanding this education of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, people's heart will change, and then their behavior will change, and then the world will change. That's the only way to bring the people from madness to some good sense. And the best way to do that is first bring ourselves in goodness, if not in pure goodness. And then it says you can't force people these days. You can't force anyone. What you can do, you can inspire people. So with our whatever little good qualities which we may adopt through the help of devotees, we should try, and then it will inspire people. We should try to do this Gyan Dan as much as possible, be selfless as much as possible, and then it will change heart. And Jayapataka Maharaj very nicely said, don't worry about big preaching. And he said, even if you can preach like 2 or 3 families in a year, he said, 2 or 3 families in a year, slowly it will be like a network, they call chain reaction, huh? And every family again reaches, and again, you don't have to be very knowledgeable. And Maharaj explained very nicely. He said, very, keep it simple. 2, 3, 4 families you preach every year. And then they preach other. You imagine in one lifetime, if you preach for 40 years or so, or 30 years, whatever, you actually are impacting so many people. And the people who are getting in touch with them, actually it can create a big circle of influence. Just one person. And the purer you are, as Prabhupada said, purity is the force, the better influence you will make. So actually it comes down to us. What you want to see in the world, Mahatma Gandhi says, be the change what you want to see in the world. So make the change in ourselves, and then the world will change. Nice question. Hare Krishna. Madhuri Mataji, just be quick, sorry. Whatever.
A very quick one. I just wanted to have, I have a different reasoning on this one. I wanted to express that. Okay. Just correct me if I'm wrong. So to what Prasanatma Prabhu has asked, right? So here they are making their life comfortable, and they are thinking that this is what is the life. They're not thinking beyond, and everybody is sharing the same thing, and then they are enjoying, and then they don't have any opportunity to think about God or Krishna, because they are making their life comfortable, and they are limiting their life here like that. Whereas in India, actually Maya Devi is working more on India, because I was just reading, like, she is using her Adi Bhautik trident, Adi Bhautik, Adi Adhyatmik, and Adi Daivik. She always uses her trident and keeps on piercing, so that we come out of that, and then we become pure devotees. So in that way, we can think that way also, right? The more Maya Devi is working on more Indians, because we are becoming pure. In that sense, if you see, we Krishna conscious people, comparatively, we are more in India. Suffer more. Suffer more, and they are more in India, because here they make their life comfortable, and they think that this is what is their life. Like in prison, you have everything, AC, everything, and you think that this is a comfortable life, and then they are enjoying.
Yes.
So, okay, you also sit, I also sit. Okay, let us all have. So morally, it may be looking good, like externally there is no corruption or something. But again, Adhyatmik, Adi Bhautik, and Adi Daivik kind of things. This is my reasoning. I don't know.
No, it's a nice way of looking at the problem. Okay, let's stop here. It's 9:06. Thank you everyone again, and we'll join you next week on Wednesday. Hare Krishna.